In the beautiful village of Umora, the people are peaceful as children play freely. In that village, there lived a princess named Adaeze. She was not loved because she wore gold or silver. Neither was she loved because of her royal status. She was loved because her heart was soft like a morning rain. Princess Adaeze loved and respects everyone. She often visits and plays with commoners. Even in the palace, she was always being kind. Kindness is the true crown of a ruler, the king would always say proudly. The villagers called her the light of Umora. But happiness does not always work for a long time. One cold night, white thunder growled across the skies. Princess Adaeze had a terrible dream. She found herself standing beside the sacred river at midnight. The water was black and silent. Then suddenly, a pale figure slowly rose from the river. She looked exactly like Princess Adaeze. Same face, same eyes, same voice. But her smile was empty and frightening. "You belong to the river," the woman whispered. Before the princess could run, invisible hands dragged her violently into the water. Adaeze screamed and woke up shaking. The next morning, she narrated her dreams to her father the king. But the king reassured her that it was just a dream and nothing serious. Weeks passed, then the sickness began. Her body became colder each day. No herbalist in the kingdom could cure her. All attempts made was proved abortive. The entire village mourned. Mothers cried and prayed openly. The king and the queen sat beside her sick bed, helpless. Finally, the oldest Dibia in the land arrived at the palace as per the king's request. After many hours of incantation, he spoke carefully. There is only one way to heal the princess: the flower of life, a sacred flower hidden deep inside the evil forest of Ajomo. Only the bravest men can get it. The forest is not an easy one to access. Able-bodied men must journey into the forest as soon as possible to save the princess. There was a moment of silence in the palace as the king thought harder who would possibly volunteer to risk his life for the princess. But 4 men volunteered. One was a mighty hunter, another was a royal guard, the third was a fearless blacksmith, and the last one was a quiet palm tapper named Obinna. That night, the men set out on their journey, fortified by the Dibia. The villagers stood at the boundary, bidding them farewell. At first, the forest was quiet. Then the whisper began. Shadows watched from the darkness. They heard crying voices calling their names. One by one, fear consumed them. The hunter disappeared while chasing a ghostly shadow of his dead brother. The royal guard was dragged into the darkness by unseen hands. The blacksmith lost his mind and vanished after seeing ghostly spirits dance while calling his name. Only Obinna remained, alone, afraid but determined. For 3 days and 3 nights, he journeyed until he reached the river, glowing under the moonlight. As Obinna reached for the flower, the river suddenly began to rage. From the water emerged the same mysterious woman in Adaeze's dream. "You cannot take what belongs to the river." Obinna trembled, but remembered the suffering princess and the tears of the villagers. Gathering courage, he plunged into the river, seized the flower. The glow from the flower pushed the woman back, and Obinna escaped. By sunrise, Obinna returned to Umora, weak and wounded, clutching the glowing flower in his hands. The villagers rejoiced and welcomed him. The flower was used to produce a medicine herb for the princess. Moments later, Princess Adaeze opened her eyes. The palace was filled with golden glow from the flower. A celebration followed. Drums thundered across Umora once again. And so, before the cheering villagers, Princess Adaeze was given out in marriage to Obinna, the humble man who walked into darkness and saved her, as a reward for his bravery. The wedding lasted for days with a lot of food and drinks. The whole village was happy again. But the story has just begun.